Hello and welcome to Saint Benedict Radio Theater. My name is Dominic Treis, and I'm here in virtual studio with Peter Fazzari, my good friend, and the voice of Valentine in the Blue Cross. He's graciously volunteered to do a little interview, a behind-the-scenes interview with both. I'll interview him and he'll interview me, and so without further ado, let's just jump right in.
All right, I'm ready.
Awesome. So, what's your background in acting and voice acting in particular?
Yeah, so in terms of professionally acting, there isn't very much. I have the luck of my dad owns a radio station.
Okay.
Owns and operates a radio station in Walla Walla.
Mm-hmm.
And through that radio station, I've had the opportunity to record several advertisements.
Okay.
And so that's kind of been my history with it, and that's how I got exposed to the field of voice acting in the first place. I did have the opportunity for the first time this year to work one professional gig for Key Technology, and I got paid for it. It was my first paid gig, and it was awesome, and I would love to do it again. So Key Technology, if you're listening, I'm ready to hear from you.
Maybe they're one of the two listeners, you know. They're one of those two listeners.
So. Let's hope so. But yeah, I've always loved voice acting, my experience with it, but also just the voice acting field in general. I think is just fascinating. So yeah, that's my history.
Did you do any stage acting ever?
Stage acting, I've never really done.
Okay.
Most of what I've done is behind the microphone. I think it would be fascinating to do stage acting. I like the idea of actually being able to use my body to act, whereas with voice acting, it's you have to be very expressive with only the voice. So, but no, I actually never have. I would love to.
Okay.
But not yet.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. So, when I asked you to play a role in my audio drama, what was your reaction, and what did you look forward to most?
Oh, I was super excited. I was excited to play a part in an actual story. Like I said, the experiences that I've had in the past have been mostly advertisements, and this is my first character.
Okay.
So kind of like reading the script was exciting and kind of understanding where this character's coming from, what he's doing. Also, something I was really looking forward to and was really excited to perform was I get to interact with almost every character in this production. I think I'm the only character that interacts with every character. So
it does follow him.
That was really exciting.
Whole story follows Valentine and would fall apart without him, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So that was very cool. But yeah, just getting to play a character, not just a voice like an advertisement, but a real character that I can embody and add personality to. I love that. I love the opportunity to do that, really for the first time. So I'm excited for the next chance.
Yeah. So what was your favorite part of playing Valentine?
I gotta say, the best part, this is going to sound kind of strange, but my favorite part was doing like the various grunts and sound effects. And just like the little bits and pieces that you throw in there in post-production, really to make it seem more alive. But just those little sound effects of running and sitting down and standing up and laughing and humming and hawing. That was just a blast to record.
Oh, man.
That was my favorite part, I'd say. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I love that part
really,
too.
really fun. Yeah.
Oh, man. The little grunts and everything, man. It's just, you know, when you do voice acting, you've got to show everything with your voice, right? You can't show anything. Like if you were running across the stage, you could run across the stage, right? But you can't in audio, so you have to show that with your voice. So having to go, I'm running.
Absolutely.
Just fun.
And that's the part that nobody really thinks about probably, but that has to happen behind the scenes, and it's a lot of fun to record those little bits.
Oh, man. Yeah, and then reaction to other people's lines, like, oh, yeah, I'd agree. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All that stuff.
Right, yeah, just the little bits and pieces that make the scene feel alive and real. It adds a lot, and yeah, it's a lot of fun to record.
How about playing the part of a skeptic, right? Valentine's not. Chesterton was completely Catholic writer, right? But Valentine, his character, is skeptic. Is skeptical of all priests, French, and kind of laughs at religion, right? He was a product of the French Revolution. How is that for you as a Catholic coming in and playing that, right? Especially after...
Yeah, I gotta say, it's definitely like the opposite of my personal standpoint, because I am a pretty darn Catholic dude. And but it was kind of fun to take that role. And, studying philosophy, a lot of times, a lot of those philosophers are skeptics.
Yeah.
And it was... I don't know. It was kind of fun to play that role, at least temporarily. Definitely not like my own personal views,
sure.
But it is fun to kind of just stretch my mind a little bit and try to see where they're coming from. And yeah, you're right. That was pretty interesting.
So do you play, or which would you prefer, a movie or an audio drama, given the choice?
If I was to view or listen to one for my own entertainment, I love movies.
Okay.
If I was going to be acting, I think audio dramas are more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I love being expressive with my voice. I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. Movies, I'm a big movie buff as well. I love kind of the intricacies of filmmaking and camera placement and cinematography especially. And so I really do love movies as well, but I think recording audio dramas is a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing, in my opinion, anyway.
I love, I love being in there. When you're in the studio, it's kind of like you and the director, and you're in your own little world, and the pressure I don't think would be as high.
Well, if my studio wasn't in the closet, then maybe we could get a few actors out at once and then have a really good time. But
now that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's the next step. So we just need a bigger budget.
Yes, very bigger than $0.
Bigger than $0.
Oh man!
But yeah.
All right. So, if you were given the choice, would you rather play a villain or a hero?
I would probably rather play a villain.
Okay.
Purely because it's just different than everyday life. I'm not a villain in real life.
You're a hero in real life?
But I'm a hero. Everyone loves me, and I am definitely a hero. And I'm just kidding. No, I mean, you get to do some fun things with your voice as a villain that I never really do in real life. I don't normally sound very menacing, but I think it would be a fun challenge to kind of portray all of that evil, villainous behavior through my voice only. So
that'd be awesome.
I would love to play a villain.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. I'm ready.
And finally, this kind of has been already answered, I think, a little bit, but do you plan to continue voice acting every opportunity in the future? And
I do.
You do?
Yeah, any opportunity I can get, I will take it. If I'm paid for it, that's great. If I'm just doing it for fun, that's great. I will take anything I can get.
Well, maybe if my audio drama sells enough copies, like more than 15, right? More than
that's okay.
15.
We'll one day in the future, when you're world famous, we'll talk about it.
And maybe someday in the future.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I will take every opportunity I can get to continue voice acting. I think it's just a blast.
Oh man, I mean, I had fun with you in the studio. It's so much fun, man.
It is. It's just fun. It's a fun atmosphere, and it's fun to work together with somebody on it. So yeah, it's a great experience.
Awesome. All right. Well, that wraps up the questions I have for you. So
all right, good questions.
Yeah.
Well, then I've got a few questions for you, Dominic.
Okay.
So, as hopefully all of our listeners know, Dominic was the driving force behind this drama. He was not just the director, but also you wrote the script. You had source material, but you wrote the script, prepared the screenplay.
The screenplay.
You directed all of us actors, all of us. You did all the post-production. You did all the music, which is a huge feat. So well done, Dominic. I just want to point that out for everybody. Huge amount of roles that you fulfilled all at once. So in that vein, which part of the audio production process do you enjoy the most?
I absolutely love it all. So it's really hard to pick. I love doing the music, finding music that just, or composing music that just fits the scene and sets the mood. I love recording the lines with the actors. Oh man, directing is so fun. I love writing the script, turning narration into dialogue, turning a story into a radio theater format. And I love putting it all together. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick post-production. Production or post-production. I love being the guy behind the soundboard running the audio stuff, but putting it all together into that final production, with music and sound effects and effects on the voices and whatever else we need to do, EQ and mastering and all that stuff is just a blast. So if I had to pick one, that's what it'd be. Yeah,
that's kind of when all that's when it starts sounding professional.
Oh man, it comes all together and it's like, done. Whoa, this is so cool, right?
Yeah, it's always exciting to hear those first drafts that we sent back and forth, and just see how things get better and better as time goes on.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Post production is a lot of fun.
Oh man, yeah.
All right. So Dominic, what drew you initially to the audio production field? Were there any specific experiences or programs or productions that you listened to that inspired you to pursue this kind of career?
Well, mine's kind of a long story, but here it goes.
I'm ready.
So I've always been fascinated with audio. Without even realizing it. I didn't analyze it when I was little, but looking back, I realized that I just loved audio stuff. My dad helped me at one point make a little song with loops in GarageBand, and I was really little, but I loved that. It was kind of cool to do. When I was little, our family was lent a CD of it was an animal CD explaining about all sorts of sea creatures and animals, whales and stuff, but done like an interview where like someone would ask him stuff and then the animal would respond in a voice with like effects on it. So they would so the whale would sound really big and so on and so forth. And
sure.
Without realizing it wasn't audio drama, but I just loved that CD and wanted to listen to it over and over. Then we had to give it back. Oh man. But then I loved audiobooks and stuff. But when I was about 11 or 12, I think, or 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, Mom and Dad bought us Focus on the Family's A Christmas Carol and the Narnias.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And as soon as I heard those, I was like, all thoughts of being an astronaut or whatever were out of my head. Firefighter, whatever I used to think I wanted to be. I was like, I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't care how I would be involved or what I would do, what role I played, but I wanted to make high quality audio drama like that. And so I jumped into audio drama production on my own. I started scripting a full-length novel into an audio drama format, and got about to the third chapter and was like, "Whoa, this is a lot harder than I thought." Recorded the first chapter, partially produced it. Then my voice changed.
Oh. Isn't it funny how that works?
Isn't it funny? I was like, oh man, now I won't even be able to finish this drama and whatever.
Continuity is destroyed.
Oh man. My passion for audio drama, I guess, was sparked through those productions and then through trying it on my own and loving it. I love the production aspect, even though my voice changed.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I guess I just continued teaching myself and on my own, and have listened to and analyzed as many productions as I can, and then hopefully have gained some experience from that, and tried to get feedback on my regular productions. I tried more ambitious projects next, or less ambitious, right? A little bit less ambitious.
Less ambitious than the full-length
novel. 500 pages or whatever.
That is pretty ambitious.
Especially for a 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah. What was the novel that you were adapting?
The Mysterious Benedict Society. And
I don't think I know.
It's an awesome book, but it was put out in like 2007, so it's in copyright. And I'm like,
okay, I think so.
Couldn't do anything with it once I was done, right? But
that's a good point.
The Mysterious Benedict Society is just an amazing series. And eventually, like, if I'm rich and famous, just kidding. I'm not going to be rich and famous, but
one day, Dominic, and then I'll be rich and famous with you.
Yeah, because you'll be like all the glory from like acting in my first professional drama.
That's right. It'll just kind of rub off on me from you. That'll be
oh
great.
Man. But it was a little ambitious to start out with.
Well, this Blue Cross radio drama is pretty ambitious as well, and I think it's paid off now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I hope so.
I think so. And I will say also, I listened to the Narnia series as well. That we got CDs of it as well when I was maybe I was 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And I was blown away.
Oh,
I love
man.
them. I love that series.
We imitated their voices. So we would like repeat whole scenes in trying to do the voices, and pretty soon the girls couldn't compete with the man voices on it. So I'd do the man voices, the girls would do the females, and we'd do whole funny scenes. And
that's great.
As soon as my voice lowered enough,
That's right. So, Dominic, I know that from personal experience, having watched you, I know you've acted on stage.
Oh, yeah.
And you've also been acting in the studio because you've starred in your own dramas before. How can you compare those experiences? Maybe the challenges in both, and which would you prefer?
So, they're both very different, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously. I love them both, but they're very different. On the one hand, you have got stage acting. You've got your costumes, makeup. You have to express what you're saying in your body as well as in your voice, right? But you don't have to do it in your voice as much, right? You can say the lines, and if you have this expression, if you look angry, right? If you look angry, you'll sound more angry, right?
Right.
But you've got to express the meaning of your words through your actions. And on the other hand, voice acting, you have to in studio, all you have is your voice. You got to express everything through the opening in your head,
right.
through your mouth.
Thought you meant your nose.
through that big wide space in your mouth, and you gotta convince your listeners, yeah, and your fellow actors, right, that you're running when really you're standing still in front of a microphone.
Right.
Stage acting. You can run across the stage. I mean, I love the fact, like, during stage acting, you could get really mad and run across the stage and hit someone and they could fall over, right? In voice acting, you can still do that, but you has to be all through your voice. I'm gonna get you.
Please don't hit me.
Bam! Right? You have the sound effect
That's
of the
right.
punch. The person groans and falls over, and you're like, whew. And then people are convinced that you just knocked someone over. So
Right.
I think that because of that challenge of portraying everything in your voice, I think that voice acting is my favorite of the two. So.
Yeah, I agree that the challenge of expressing all of the range of human emotions through only the voice is a challenge, but is such a blast. So I completely agree with you. Can you speak about just your experience directing all of these different actors? So you had all these different actors come into your studio and record their parts separate from the other actors, which kind of has its own challenges, piecing together bits of conversation or reactions to other people's statements. But what was it like just directing your actors, trying to get them to perform the way that you need them to perform, say things the way they're meant to be said? I know there were definitely spots in my my own performance where I wasn't putting emphasis on the right words, and we had to re-record it 3 or 4 times. So I'm sure it could be frustrating at times, but I'm sure it was a lot of fun. Can you just speak about that experience of directing other actors? That's not necessarily just your brothers and sisters anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's a blast. I mean, let me tell you. First of all, it's just a blast to have an actor in the studio and try to be helping them to portray a character as you see it. Right. Let's see. It's also a learning curve for me. I'd never really directed actors before. When I had done a short radio drama earlier, I'd kind of let the actors, or at least some of the actors, do what they wanted to do. And if there was something really glaring, I could correct it. Or if there was an actor who really needed help, I could help him. But I kind of let some of them do their own thing and without as much direction. But this one, I really had a vision for what I wanted this to sound like. And so, especially when I would, with the actors I had available, right? Someone would come over to our house and I'd be like, hey, I'm recording a radio drama. I need you to act for me. And they're like, I don't act. And I'm like, yes, you do. Come on. But that was a learning curve for me. I would, how much direction do you want to give? Do you want to give line readings to actors? Do you want to let them kind of take it where they want to take it? And it depends on the talent of the actor, I guess. But it was a blast, right? Because I'd be in the studio, and someone would say something in a way that I hadn't imagined it to be said, but it worked so much better. It worked really well in the context of what I knew the other actors had done, what I knew I wanted in the script, and I was like, it was just awesome to see it come together and some of the characters coming to life again, not again, but coming to life, really coming to life in the story as I recorded the actors. Now, that doesn't mean that there weren't any challenges, right? The challenge also was working with these actors who hadn't had any acting experience before, but I needed them to portray a certain way. I had to figure out how to kind of guide them through that, and it was neat to see them pick up on it, right? And it was also neat to get to guide them through, and they said they had a lot of fun or whatever, and that was the point, right? We were going to have a bunch of fun and create an awesome story. Oh, funny moments. There were millions of funny moments.
There was a lot just in our session.
Oh, man. I remember holding my breath in our session so that I wouldn't laugh before your line was finished.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And then I would burst out laughing, and we could take a laughing break, and then we'd do it again, and I'd hold my breath. And
I remember there was one scene. We were just trying to record the sound of Valentine sipping like a cup of coffee or something. And so we had that glass of water. I was just supposed to sip it.
And you were like,
and it was so hard not to accidentally spit it all over the microphone laughing. Just
because you had to sip it and then choke on it, right?
And then choke on it, yeah.
There's salt in my tea.
It's so funny, yeah.
There's other times where the actors would just... Oh, I remember once where I put it in the outtakes reel where Lee Fitzpatrick, who played Flambeau, accidentally did a line in an Irish accent.
Yeah, that's right.
And he goes, "Saints be praised, Flambeau be Irish."
That's great.
And then recording the policeman, the Cockney policeman, Steve Richmond, a friend of ours from church. He just jumped right into the character and did this amazing Cockney accent. And then, but in the middle of recording the lines, he jumped into Yoda. And we were like doing Yoda voices.
Oh boy.
We were like imitating Yoda's voice because we were like, something came up in the lines and somebody mentioned Yoda. So we had to stop and imitate Yoda's voice and keep going.
Well, somehow that didn't make it into the final cut, I guess.
Yeah. I had to pick and choose which ones to keep in the outtakes reel.
That's great.
Just so fun though. Oh man.
That's great. Yeah. Well, it was a lot of fun as an actor working with you as a director. So well done.
Well, thank you.
Well done. You're welcome. So kind of as a final question for you then, what does the future hold for your personal audio production career? Do you want to study it as a career? Do you want to go to school and continue working in this field? And in addition to that, what does the future hold for Saint Benedict Radio Theater in particular?
Okay. Another big question. Good question.
Big question.
Good question, though. So, yes, I want to... it's been a dream for a while, for a long time, to do this as a career. It's been my dream, and I hope that's where God wants me to be, right? But I've dreamed of working for a company such as Augustine Institute Radio Theater or Focus on the Family Radio Theater with all their amazing productions. So what I'm going to do is continue audio work through college. I'm going to take audio production classes and pursue it on my own. I'm going to make sure I have a little bit of time allotted each day to keep working on audio production because I don't want to stop. It's so much fun for one, and then it's cool to make complete productions for another. I don't want to stop, even though I'm sure I'll get busy in college. I'm going to study music composition in college. I'm going in as a violin performance major, but I'm going to take composition classes and audio production classes, hopefully hone my skills a little bit, and we'll see. Then after that, it's kind of up to God, right? He can, if he wants, if I want to pursue an internship at one of those companies or something like that, or radio station, maybe that'll open up and God can take care of that. But for now, I'm going to stick with Saint Benedict Radio Theater, and I'm pretty excited about where we can go from here. I've actually decided which Father Brown mystery we'll do next. I'm going to do do the Invisible Man.
Awesome.
And,
all right.
And we're going to have... I'm in the scripting stage right now. So I'm working on... I'm really working on the script this time. I really want the script to be really good. I'm going to hopefully cut out most of the narration, turn it all into dialogue. And that'll, I think, bring more... drama and more interest into it. People won't fall asleep during the narrators. Not that Grandma Treis was a bad narrator or anything.
Oh, she did a fine job.
She did a really good job.
I told her that. Yeah, she's got a great voice.
So I'm gonna work on that. We might try. I'm gonna hopefully have a good chunk of my actors from the Blue Cross come back for this one.
All right.
We're gonna see if we can't record Lee Fitzpatrick's lines remotely and do some fancy editing on them to get them to the quality of to the sound
studio quality
level. And I think we might try some British accents this time.
Oh, I've been practicing, just so you know.
Awesome.
I am ready.
And I hope that you will come back for this next one because we'll get a good part for you.
You can count on it.
Awesome. And then from there, again, it's up to God. We'll see where he wants me. But I'm hoping to... it was my goal to do at least 2 Father Brown mysteries. I did the Blue Cross. Now we're going to do the Invisible Man. And we'll see if I want to continue with Father Brown mysteries or if I want to go into something different. I have a George MacDonald book that I've been thinking about for a while. And also exploring possibilities of other ones. Always open to suggestions, Peter.
Cool.
And we'll see where we go. I kind of would like to do a longer production. Sometime in the future. Because that would be awesome. It'd take a lot longer.
It would be.
But it would be pretty cool. So.
Do you think you will ever try producing something that you've written yourself that's completely original? Do you have any interest in doing that?
It's funny you should ask. Because I've actually started brainstorming an idea for a script of my own. Based on some pretty awesome Catholic spirituality that I've been learning. So, an allegory kind of about how we should live in today's culture, which is so against anything Christian or Catholic.
Right.
There's some pretty awesome. There's kind of a group of people out in Montana that I know one guy that I know, the guy who kind of leads. He kind of has a retreat center there, and he's mentioned wanting to do an audio drama, kind of with a group of people out there. So I might end up going out there and doing an audio drama.
Wow, no kidding.
But at first I have to get a script written, which takes a long time.
It is no small feat.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's in the works, and we'll see where
Awesome.
God takes that.
Awesome. Great. Best of luck with that. I'm excited to hear what you come up with.
Yeah, I'll probably be emailing you a script and see what you think of.
Please do, yeah.
And I'll email you a
would love
script for Father Brown, too. Yeah.
All right. I would love to work with you on it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think writing scripts would be a very fun process. Writing is one of my own little hobbies as well. I like to write. But I've never written a script, so yeah, it'd be fun to work with you on that, for sure.
Yeah, you should try it too. Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, and then maybe we could produce something together again.
That'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dominic. I think that's all I've got for you. And you said you had maybe one last question for me as well.
Yes, I forgot to ask you how you liked how you liked the process of proof listening to each scene as I sent them. How did you...
I'm sorry, Dominic. You're actually... sorry, we're probably going to have to cut this out, but you cut out entirely when you were saying that. Could you just say that one more time? I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
I'm sorry.
You're good. No, it's not your fault. It's the internet's fault, you know.
The internet. Gosh darn it.
So what I was wondering was how you enjoyed proof listening and sending suggestions, giving me feedback on each scene. Because for those of you 2 listeners out there who who don't know, Peter was my go-to for... I would send scenes to him, and he would give me feedback on each scene as I went along. And then I would tweak some things and kind of add some sound design, and just wanted to see how you liked that process.
Yeah, I loved it. It was, like I kind of mentioned before, it's a lot of fun to hear first kind of a raw, bare bones version. And then as we send it back and forth, more and more layers are added. It becomes more real and more alive every time we listen to it. I loved it. I loved the collaboration. I loved that we could work on it together, even though we're living so far apart, which is very cool. Yeah. And I'm excited to work with you that way in the future, if you'd like. I think kind of feedback and editing without really having to do any of the work myself. I'm kind of like, I got the easy job.
Yeah, well,
but
absolutely.
it's,
I'd love to do that.
But it's really fun, really fun. Yeah, I love doing that with you.
Awesome. Well, I will be sending you scenes from this next one after we record, and I'm producing.
Okay. Yeah, I will eagerly await those scenes in my email.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Peter, so much for being willing to do this with me, and I'm really excited to see where Saint Benedict Radio Theater and other projects go from here.
I'm excited as well. Yeah, and thank you for asking me to act with you on this production, and glad we could get together today for this little interview. So, I look forward to working with you in the future.
Me too. Thanks, Peter.
All right, thanks, Dominic. We'll see ya.
All right, bye. Hello, this is Dominic Treis, the founder and director of Saint Benedict Radio Theater. This interview was produced and edited by Dominic Treis and is copyrighted 2019 by Saint Benedict Radio Theater. Our theme music was composed by Peter Fazzari. Visit our website at www.stbenedictradiotheater.com to purchase our productions or to learn more about Saint Benedict Radio Theater. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening.